Sometimes all the strategies and fidget spinners in the world don't quite help on a day when you're just having a bad day. And then you have to go to work and you have to be in meetings and you have to talk with people. What do you do in these situations?
Bad days and work don't mix well for anyone. If you're struggling with ADHD on top of that, it doesn't get much better. When I feel like my ADHD is at a particular high point, my empathy is weakened. I get frustrated over little things, and honestly, the people who've been around me for those moments can probably tell you better than I could. Before anything I changed became useful, I needed to get in touch with some radical honesty about myself. I'm not a pleasant person to be around sometimes. Sometimes my judgment about a situation is clouded by an overreactive but temporary mood. And at the same time, we have to be forgiving of ourselves. I am not my ADHD. ADHD is something that is happening to me. When I combine forgiveness with radical honesty, there is hope. It means that I can recognize when I'm in a state, and I can do something about it to prevent it from having undesirable effects in my personal life. My number one strategy is simply to remove myself from interacting with people as much as possible. If need be, I'll move or request to have meetings moved out in order to defer those interactions to a day when I might be in a better state. However, if I still want to be productive, this can be hard to avoid unless I want to double my workload the next day, so I'll focus on communications that are offline. Messaging platforms like Slack and Teams, and even many email clients have the option to schedule messages to go out at a scheduled time. So I'll work through my correspondence tasks, but schedule them to be sent 24 hours from now if possible. This allows me to review my scheduled messages with a clearer head the next day before they get sent. Why schedule them at all? Why not just write them tomorrow? Because writing people back and gathering information is work. I could be saving myself the next day.
A little self-forgiveness goes a long way here. Sometimes you just can't be at your best. You don't have to have ADHD for that to be the case. We all take our bad days to work. It happens.
But sometimes I don't have the luxury of waiting to send messages, and it's generally good practice these days to respond in a timely manner. In this case, I'll use a large language model like ChatGPT, Claude, Mistral, or a similar tool to review my message and write it in a friendly tone. Check in on your workplace policies on using this tool. There are also some self-hosted alternatives that run directly on your computer that may get around needing to include proprietary or sensitive information. In any case, use these options wisely and at your own risk. Moodiness has a way of making us think we are hiding our frustration well when our words actually give it away. Another good practice here to prevent too much interaction with people while still actually doing work and contributing is to consider shifting from statements to questions. Sometimes this is even a good strategy on a good day. I find this is a better strategy for me when I'm talking with people in person. When I'm having a particularly bad day, I feel embarrassed because I can't organize my thoughts well. By asking more questions, it not only puts the onus on the other person to do the talking, it makes others feel good by giving them control over the conversation. You don't want to take this so far as to make people feel interrogated, but with a healthy cadence of questions over statements, this can actually be refreshing to your coworkers who will enjoy that you're taking the time to consider their thoughts and opinions.
Remember that sometimes when you're going through a lot of different moods and just different versions of yourself, you don't know which version is going to show up to work that day. It's important not to lose sight of the fact that sometimes you just have to disconnect and detach. Go and just renew your energy. Take care of yourself so that you can come back to work, bringing your best. And honestly, if it's going on longer, then you may want to consider talking to a professional or just taking extended time off to see if maybe you just need more than just a day to disconnect from work. Whatever you do, you really have to avoid this constant pressure that comes externally from feeling like we all have to be normal. We have to push through and exhaust this limited reserve of willpower to show up as a normal person at work. It's okay to be different, and you do what you can. A little self-forgiveness goes a long way. Thanks for watching.